And we are back. Greetings, greetings. Welcome back to Mad Poet Podcast. I am your host, Alex Murdock, the Mad Poet. And I'm here with Mr. Strings, aka Strings Theory.
Yes,
That's his
sir.
page. Go look him up, check him out. He's doing some great things. I saw his video breaking down the
Appreciate it.
Oppenheimer. Too funny. But yeah, man, people are active and doing their thing. So please support the page and yeah, man, just share your feedback on anything we speak about that resonates with you. And yeah, otherwise, yeah, man, stay tuned. There's a lot of things going on. Strings, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for that. Yeah. Um, just sitting on ideas. I'm just like, let's just get him out, man. You know what I mean? Let's just get him out.
There you go. There you go. Amen to that, man. Got to do it.
Mm.
Got to do it. You know.
How you?
Um, I'm positive, man. Positive. Spent the past week. This week is more like I was putting in work for what I did this week, which is like the day of show sort of thing. But last week I was studying poetry, so I had a lot of entries.
Mm.
Me and another judge. Um, it was two of us. Her name was Sharon. She's a journalist, and she's doing her thing. I met her today for the first time, but we've been having like Zoom calls, just kind of conversing about
Mm.
poetry and stuff like that. But it was great. It was great, and we had. I think we, obviously, she wasn't able to go to the workshops, but I did like I think it was about 4 or 5 workshops because it was part of a 2 day period. And I think the first day I did two, and then the second day I did three, or the other
Right.
way around. But either way, it was around 100 kids
Whoa.
we had to
Assembly
workshop.
things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So overall, the 2 days is like 100 kids, and essentially you just basically just giving them tools to sort of kind of express themselves
Mm.
and just ways of like really showing flair or like just starting to do the poetry. And if they so this would be like a foundation work, and if they
Right.
want to kind of expand on things from there to be like show flair and just if they have talent like that they can. But my job was to sort of kind of give them foundations to create pieces and write about what they know of themselves, because ultimately you have to know yourself to be a good poet, or at least have great instincts about yourself. So that's what I was doing last week. Sorry, that was like a couple weeks ago. Well, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And then last week we were doing all the entries. So we were just like just reading through the entries and just she came with her list and I came with mine, and we just kind of ironed out our differences in terms of like okay, negotiating and just understanding what this one brings and just aligning our thoughts, and then we make like a top 25 out of all of them, which is going to be in an anthology. It's going to be published.
Okay.
So yeah,
Very good
yeah. So it's
stuff.
going to be a published book. Yeah, man. And the last time this is not my first time. I did one last year. I did two last year. Participated in two of them last year.
Hmm.
But the second one they had we worked with TFL in
Oh,
the second
wow.
one. They had some of the showcase some of the work for us.
Question.
But
Did anyone mention how, on the trains where they write their little message boards?
yeah,
At some point those started to become inspirational. I don't know for how long, but
yeah.
is that a question you was able to ask? Or because when I see it, I'm like, yo, like at some
Yeah.
point someone was like, yeah, nah, you know what? Forget that. We're gonna, do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I do, but I wasn't the one that necessarily handled it,
Okay.
but it was just when you sort of kind of reach out for things like that, is pretty much just a business thing,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, they were happy to accommodate us. So
Oh, that's sick,
we had a
man.
few train stations. They had some displayed and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that was good. Yeah,
Mm.
and then coming this year, we're gonna have some of those as well. We're looking to have those a few selective pieces displayed. Working with TFO again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's been good, and I think for me, the most important thing for me is just the what I observe the impact of it in terms of the kids and what they get from it,
Mm.
and the knowledge of self, man, because ultimately you're teaching them about themselves because they have to know about themselves to kind of create poetry, sort of thing. What makes them tick, and the one thing I've heard from teachers as well is that they think it's so in demand what we do,
Mm.
and working with the children and the kids, because obviously this is college kids. So as
Yeah.
much as I'm saying kids, they're still quite mature kids.
Grown. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man. So it's been fun, and today was the day, and we were at the Riverside studio, and we had a room on the ground floor, which was sort of kind of like a conference room where, and we had a little platform like a stage. So we had a few of them, I think around between 6 to 9 or 8 to 10 came and performed their work on stage, and there was more, but those they didn't they chose not to perform their work. So the teachers performed
Ah.
before them.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a few of the teachers just read the work, and they did well, man. They did well. One of them was really animated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Bernard, who's doing his thing, and and Liam did well as well. He was the host for the night.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying for the night, for the morning. So it
Yeah.
was great. It was
Same
great. It
thing. Same thing.
was great. Yeah, man. Especially when he almost tripped over the mic cord, but he recovered. Just like that. He just had to tap dance and things
Yeah.
like yeah, just bring it back. It was one of those guys that's just like he's a great host, man, because he doesn't take himself too serious
Mm-hmm.
and he knows how to make a joke. So it was fun. It was fun, and me and Sarah, we had the chance to perform as well because she was actually an open mic. Well, she was actually a performance poet as well. She doesn't do it much
Yeah.
these days because she's more into her work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I enjoyed what she read. She kind of performed it because as I said, she used to do that work. So um, it was fun to hear it. Um, yeah, man, it was cool. It was cool. It was a nice day, Strings, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's fun.
No, I
I'll
hear it.
share some images and stuff like that from the day that have been sent during the
It's
week.
just crazy. Yeah, working with kids, man, especially in the creative capacity. Um, I always marvel at how you see
Yeah,
them come alive and um, working with kids in the past, always being able to see what an adult can provide in terms of the space, which allows them to drop their guard and to open up. That's why
yeah,
when they're like, "Oh, you were never like this," and then I'm like, "Well, yeah, you're not giving them the space and the tools to, help them figure out and express who they are and embrace it, kind of
yeah.
thing." So, nice, amazing, man.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So that's the main thing I got from it. Just how to see, just how they sort of kind of react, they responded, and they feel the sense of accomplishment that you can see is
Mhm.
the is clearly in it. Is clearly oozing from them. and
Yeah.
you know what, there's an impact there that perhaps they're not necessarily aware of it, but I am, because I know
Yeah.
what I'm
Hmm.
making. So if only that, man, it was a pleasure. And they welcomed me, man. Even gave me a little box of chocolate. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey, yo, kids are
But
grateful.
yeah, I still have it. But yeah, man.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you're gonna
Last
eat
year they
it,
gave me
but
flowers.
yeah.
This year they gave me
Oh
chocolate.
man, that's sick.
Yeah, man. I still got the flowers as well. Like been growing up my house.
Yeah,
So I
as they
still
should,
water them.
bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So that was fun, man. That was fun. So that's I suppose the highlight of my week.
Yeah,
Um, but I always enjoy just giving back. So
yeah.
it's one of the things um, I appreciate from in the space I am, where I can give. You know, so it's been positive, man. Been positive, and it's just another Tuesday. But having fun with it, strings. Having fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't lie. So I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna drop this piece as well, man.
keep getting mine. Keep getting it. Um, should we get started?
Please.
All right. Now this so going to be relate to where we're gonna go after I finish after I say this piece. But I just want to share something for the sake of sharing something tonight. It's not it's related to the subject matter. Uh, just give me a second. Mm, what's wrong with this thing? Sign me out. Just give me a second. I just have to sign back in. Um, Drinks. Continue. Yeah, keep talking for a second. Let me
Okay.
just.
R.I.P. D'Angelo, man. Um, bro, listen, I was meant to say that last week, but man, ah, that's a heavy one, man. Like I can't lie, it's like I lost an uncle. Get me? Um, and it's crazy because as you do when such an
Did
icon
you say
passes.
D'Angelo?
Yes, sir.
D'Angelo who?
The musician.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm sipping on. All right, man.
So when people, I've just been, there's been,
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's been a flurry of news, condolences, and but more interestingly, the archives and people really point to the forefront about what his message was and what music meant to him, and it's been absolutely liberating because he was a man that just did his thing and left. It's like they had to pull it out of him, but whatever they did
Mm,
pull, it was worthwhile. And the thing that stuck with me, along with other things, is just like the what the outside world will make um, you forget if you
yeah.
are imbalanced with why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. And musicians always say that don't play with music, man. Like don't play with it. Like the way that it can make all of us feel and remember, heal, connect is no
Yeah.
joke. And to be able to do it at that level
Mm,
and where that is why he has so many respect amongst his peers. But yeah, fans as well that admire the work. You could just you felt it like that's no um it's no coincidence. And he really took his time to respect that. So yeah, just relearning about the power of all the gifts that we have, no matter the capacity, share it. Because I said in my clip um, that I'm a believer of your gift has the same impact on the reach it has, whether to those around you and the masses. It's the same thing,
Mm,
absolutely the same thing.
yeah,
Because um, as soon as that light dimmers, you will know. Um, and is why those who are aware of how people carry themselves and the light they carry are more prone to show appreciation for those. And the flowers that you get from
mm,
children, I thought to myself, it's wild how the older you get, the more we hold on to things. You want to hold on to not showing
yeah,
someone that you appreciate them? That's insane. Absolutely insane. But a child will be very quick to show you what you did for them and what that means. And I feel that's what D'Angelo approached his music like, childlike genius. Um, and
yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's been very humbling and been a grateful period these last few days, just learning about what I do, and go on these cameras and post on these blogs and really say something worth saying. You know what I mean? With the flair that we have. So yeah, man, rest in peace with GOAT, man,
yeah,
for real. So just wanted to put that out there.
amazing, man. It's funny because I never really know him, but I did see during the day. It was in the morning on my way,
Hmm.
and it was somebody on Instagram where I can't remember who it was though, but they're basically saying that he inspired them to kind of get into fitness.
50.
50, that's it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Mm.
I saw that. I
So
was like,
he clearly has
really? Mental.
yeah, bro. You just don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, and you just don't know who's watching. That's the one thing I've
Mm.
learned time and time again with what I do. And sometimes, I think I'm just but doing myself and just do what I do. And then somebody else tell me, "Oh, I saw this, saw that." I was like, "Man, how did you see that?" I thought
Mm.
about myself,
Mm.
and it happens too many times. I'm just like, you know what, man up. It's always somebody watching. That's the
Yeah.
rule of thumb at this point for me. So, no, man, that's real. That's real. Good point. Good point. All right, here's the piece, Drinks. Just
Yes,
the
sir.
quote from the piece. I had to pause between clauses, jittering the process as though the world has got me nervous, ready to relent, but no room to rebel. Resistance in the head, but first one has got to read the fine print. Even for religion these days, a soul in need of quench, one cannot serve two masters, irrespective. That was
Yeah, what a way
it.
to end that, boy. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
so
true. It is very true.
yeah, yeah, that's a whole fact. Um, you know, I heard it so many times. This narrative you've got to do for self. You've got to cultivate, build, because time. It will seem like it's deceiving. It seems like it's your friend, but if you don't treat it right, it becomes your enemy. Sort of thing. Do
Mm.
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, you're not wise with it, and then you haven't got long left, and suddenly you're playing catch up where you're just rushing you to do everything, but the space that you're in is it's impossible. You can't. It's too late. You can't get it back. But in this mindset, you're constantly forcing it. You're trying, you're trying, you're trying. You're trying to get this time back. And you, it's not too late, but it's gone. And I guess maybe I'm somewhat alluding to that. One cannot serve masters irrespective. And what I mean by that is you either serve yourself or you serve somebody else.
But in that context, how do you mean with
What I
respecting
mean
time?
by that
Yeah.
is you either you either serve yourself by going to the going towards the path that you believe this is for you, you're aligned with,
Yeah. Okay.
or you serve somebody else. You simply just do you trade money for time, for example,
Mm.
or you just you just get 9 to 5 and you just do your thing, and but you're not fulfilled because this is not what you wanted to be or wanted to do in life.
Mm.
And not to say that you don't know that, but the fact is you're not doing accordingly so that you can accomplish or be fulfilled by that.
Yeah.
Until maybe it's too late, in which case now you're in a rock and a hard place. And these type of situations they breathe survival mode.
Mm.
You've heard of situations where people they get to their 50s and suddenly they want to act right. They want a full-time job,
Wow.
but they're hustling on the side. You get what I mean? Like now they want to be fitness fanatics at the same time. You get what I mean? Like these
Yeah.
are
But it's funny, isn't it?
examples that I'm talking about
Because
where it's just like,
of those examples, sorry to cut you, but I just wanted to add, it's funny, those examples remind those to make case. But I wanted to dial back on what you said previous to those lines as
yeah,
well. You spoke about resistance. That comes up as you're explaining this. It's and as you're saying it, I'm like, yeah, the resistance between serving the two masters is is very telling, depending on what someone becomes aware of at that crossroad in realizing about what to do with what they have left. Because I think that's another
mm,
thing. People holding on to, I could have been this, I could have been, and it's like, well, that will eat you up even more, depending
yeah.
as well on how you look at it. Um, so yeah, it's a serious one, man.
What you just described to me is somebody that's stuck in the past.
Mm,
But by being stuck in the past, you're sort of kind of also you're destroying the potential of your future, but you're also predicting your future in the sense that you're not necessarily doing anything new. You're repeating the mistakes that you just made, which is ill. But a lot of people do that as well, you know. So I would say, at this point, acceptance is a big thing. But how can you get to acceptance if you don't necessarily have discipline in oneself to sort of kind of know these situations? You can only know these situations if you've done the work already. But
so,
by that definition,
mhm.
you're in a space where you haven't been doing any work. So I had this analogy yesterday, and it's basically like this. If you think about turning a direction, it's kind of like Hercules, and I'm just kind of putting a little extra to kind of make it my own. But it's kind of like a Hercules or Superman catching an asteroid. He's gonna have to break but the inertia momentum first
Yeah,
before he can push the asteroid out
yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
atmosphere.
Hmm.
So he's gonna go back. He's gonna go backwards on himself before he goes forward. And I think that's what a lot of people are going through sometimes, but they don't understand what it takes to change direction. And you're not just changing direction and just willy nilly just go the other way. You have to change. You have to take momentum first from who you've been, who you are, before I can ascend in the other direction. And that might take you days, could take you, depending on who you are, could take you days, could take you weeks, could take you years, it could take you decades.
Yeah. Still
But
don't get it
ultimately,
now,
that's what it
years
is.
later. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate to see it. But, that's the one thing we see. It's like, man, I could have been, I would have been, man, if only. Oh, man, yeah, I remember. It just doesn't work, man. And even I think maybe if you're young, perhaps it works. But you get to a certain point where it's for example, you say you're an old head or something like that, where you like between 40 and 50s. It's like, I hate you. I hear you. That's all I got for you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because you didn't. It's no excuse at that point. That's a habit,
Mm.
because ultimately you sort of kind of done for at least 15 to 25 years. Because around, I'd say, if I want to give you grace, between 10 and 15 years of your life, year 10 to 10 years to 15 years, it's like, okay, cool. But what about 15 to 20? What about 15 to 25? 15 to 30, 15 to 40, 15 to 50? That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. And that's a lot of time to be conscious. It's a lot of time to be conscious about you not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, it's just a thought.
Yeah. But I've accepted a long time ago, not everyone is meant to um process that.
I agree. But, there's a choice in there somewhere.
Eh. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
There's a choice in there somewhere. And whether you're consciously doing it or unconsciously, you're making a sacrifice with that choice.
Yeah. Okay.
Because yeah, because whether you're saying,
Nah, it's
I
cool.
don't know,
Yeah. Mm. Mm.
or I knowingly do, either way, it's still a choice.
Yeah.
It's still a choice.
Hence the term stuck in your ways.
Stuck in your ways. And once the worst time to try and change ways is 40s and
When you're
50s.
old, yeah.
Because by then, it's solidified,
It's like,
who you are in the 40s and 50s. There's no change in it. And ultimately, I think that's when people sort of kind of see their ways, and they want to become something better, become something else. But again, 10,000 years of, or 10,000 hours of practice comes to mind.
mm,
If you want to stay a novice, you want to go beyond that, won't you?
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's not easy, man. What we spoke about before, anticipate as opposed to improvise.
Yeah.
I'd say this is another example, another example, but it's to your detriment if you don't get it right. So, I think about things like this because you have to. All right, Strings, got something for you.
Please, because this title is interesting. Sorry, I got cough as well.
So good. Um, where is it? Have you ever heard of Oedipus?
No.
Okay. So I'll tell you what the I'll say it a certain way so you get it. So this was Oedipus was a mythical Greek king of Thebes, they say,
Oh,
a tragic hero in mythology.
mm.
Oedipus unwittingly fulfilled a prophecy that he would end up killing his father and marrying his mother, thereby bringing a disaster to his family, to his city and family. It's a bit deep, I know.
Yeah, like what? What? I want to know what the prophecy was.
That
That's
was a
what I'm
prophecy.
thinking.
I'll read it for you again. The
What?
prophecy, he says, um, the prophecy was that he would end up killing his father and marrying his
Oh,
mother,
right, right, right. Mm.
thereby bringing disaster to his city and family. I just add a little extra to it. It says Oedipus went to the same oracle in Delphi. I'm guessing a bunch of witches. That his birth parents had consulted. The oracle informed him that he was destined to murder his father and marry his mother.
Yikes.
It's a cold game. It's a cold game. All right, let's move on. There's a term called polymorphous perverse. Are you familiar with it?
Say it one more time, please.
Polymorphous perverse.
No, we are not.
It's more of a psychosis situation coined by Freud. I'll read what it says. It says coined by Sigmund Freud to describe the undifferentiated sexual gratifications found in young children who can derive pleasure from wide variety of sources and not just from their genitals.
Yes, I've heard of this. Never knew the term.
Now, if you think about what I just told you about this,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I've actually been reading a study on this, and they were quoting Freud and just going in exploring the whole idea of it.
Hmm.
And I got a question. This is why I'm giving you all this information to go with it. Um, so ultimately, what they're saying is, yes, some of these things are natural in children, but the natural progression dictates that you're supposed to grow out of things like this.
Mm.
And the way it works, in dynamic wise, is girls develop traits linked to their father, boys develop traits linked to their mother. So ultimately, girls fantasize or certain things carry over into their sexual life to do with their upbringing, to do with their father, and similar things to their mother. For example, sometimes you might see somebody with a girlfriend, and it's somewhat like a stereotypical thing across the board with all of them, and they will have some kind of uncanny resemblance or uncanny archetypal situations to do with his mother. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could just be a coincidence, but
Mm.
this is sort of kind of where we're heading with it. But ultimately, a lot of these things that we're speaking about, primarily the reason why I highlight this is because from what I've been reading about in this article is that sometimes people don't grow out of these situations,
Absolutely.
and the reason why is because perhaps you don't have a father around in which there's balance for a boy. And
Hmm.
ultimately, there's situations where these things give the chance to metastasize. I'm sure you've termed mommy's boy,
Yeah. Mm.
and these are somewhat eluding that thing, maybe on a microscopic level, but on the extreme level, you would have somebody like
Eh,
you hear it,
no, have someone like a.
Oedipus, the king I was telling
Okay,
you about.
okay, yeah. No, I forget. We're on this. Uh, we're on Streamyard again, innit? So I forget sometimes.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, the lag is there. But yeah, okay. Yeah, no. I had a. Yeah, I've heard of the theory before. It's come up in different scenarios a few times. Um, it's always a fascinating one. But yeah, let me not stop you. You had a question.
Okay, so let me get to the crux of the matter because we got like I say about 20 minutes or so. Do you think in this day and age, and perhaps we're men, so we can only mainly speak from experience towards one,
Mm.
which is, do you think today's society, especially men, suffers from a situation where they're too? Let me just say it plain. Do you think men suffers from mommy's boy syndrome?
Ooh, yes. This are two things. You reminded me of something I heard. I think over a year ago. Um,
Mm,
that was breaking down. Um, ah, I think the video was suggesting that the economy plays a hand in the lack of development for men, i.e., alluding to
mm,
if men are held back um, economically to grow out of their comfort zone, i.e., the nest, it
yeah,
starts to cause a rift with where they question themselves, their masculinity, um, and what that does to the natural progression of, i.e., moving out and becoming a man and X, Y, and Z. But I think these days it's more. It's interesting because I hate to mention the internet, but the word that's being used to describe men that are expressing themselves more is a lack. of what they are not used to from a certain generation. But at the same time, when some of the voices that are being some of the opinions that are being voiced, it very much shoulders the notion that um, there's a lack of balance between how they see themselves and how they carry themselves. And someone asked me an amazing question over a week ago, um, where it was about how did my upbringing look like? Was it more masculine or feminine? And I really had to ponder on that. And coming from my background, it's, you know, very masculine dominated. And at a certain age, I was, I questioned it a lot because of, and my answer was that I questioned it a lot, the masculine side, because not for so much the aggression, but the lack of progression that it caused in forward thinking. And then that questioned me to look at the other side and be like, okay, what is it that this also brings to the table of having a balanced overview moving forward, i.e., empathy, caring, nature, and just things that are complete opposite to the masculine side of it. Um, but
Yeah,
it was a great question because it made me realize that I sought to find that balance very early on and know how to lean into both depending on the situation. But it would always be from my point of view as I am a man this time round. Um,
yeah.
but for most,
Did you say this
um,
time round?
yeah, oh, that's a, yeah. Um, but for this case, yeah, I feel there's a lot of things at play that contribute to why men are more of that, and it's yeah, it's crazy, and we're seeing the effects. Um, but last point, I don't know if there's a video that went super viral. I can't remember when, but the gentleman basically explains that if you want to take over a society, you attack the strongest men first. So that way, whoever's left struggles to um, determine how they lead each other to survival, so to speak. And with men being afraid to speak up um, eloquently and intellectually, it causes problems, causes real problems. Because now it's just like, oh, we don't want to offend nobody. When it's like, well, the masculine presence is to dominate, to make room for it itself. Like it's not here to it's here to make his presence known, and you can't do that by always being somewhat careful or apologetic 24/7 for everything that you do. It's like, yo, like, are you going to speak your mind, or are you going to represent who you are as an individual or not? Because someone will call you something that you think will harbor ill will against you, or you don't want to look bad in front of like the media and whatnot. Because boy, she gave it to him. But yeah, I think yeah, I'll explain that point shortly afterwards. But yeah, a bit long-winded, but it's a big one for sure.
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, you tapped into a good point there. The saying, which is I'm familiar with, and it basically just saying that society, a strong society, or the strength of society is dictated by the strength of men, and ultimately that's what we see every day. Where
Facts.
that's why things get so worrisome because men are not necessarily shown. for the most part, um, showcasing masculinity in the, in those standard level that we've seen of the old in the past,
Mm.
and it's a reflection of society because it's sort of like, afar everybody's sort of watching, and so because of that, sometimes certain countries or certain people they're forced to show their dominance
Yep.
in an aggressive manner just to show, or maybe make an example of somebody to show that, what, I still have that monster in me, or I'm
Mm.
still that wolf, as opposed to the dog. We spoke about that
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, society is not the dog. Society is the wolf, and if you're not careful, then things will take a turn for the worse, and you'll be on the end of the receiving end. That is. So, yeah. So, with the men's situation, men are supposed to act accordingly, be regiment, be ready to defend, be ready to protect, etc., etc. All these different things, but definitely, in this society that we live in today, yeah, that was a bit loud. I'm not sure if you heard that.
Hoodlums.
Yeah, man. But yeah, and if you're not ready to sort of kind of defend your land, it
Mm.
question marks about how much of a man you are or manhood, because those are some of the scopes in terms of definition that you're supposed to be about, sort of thing.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, not to say that you have to necessarily be, because I've understand that certain things like this is a spectrum. So you don't necessarily have to be like, oh man, I am the big I am all the time, beat your chest and all that. But
Mm.
when it counts,
For
you
sure.
should be ready. you know. So that's what I've learned about it, and to that degree, a lot of these things that we're speaking about, these are things that some um, inhibit, take away from the beast or the nature of the beast from being ultimately what it was presupposed to be, um, which is to whatever society, being that is, because what it is, at the end of the day, you're only as strong as your weakest chain. So even if you have like a population, and most society do, but if it's prominent enough, then you know these situations can, certain people from outside looking in, blood, and now you're
Yeah.
in trouble because they want to test your fence, sort of thing. Like they did Troy, you know what I mean? And put that thing at your door, the wooden horse, and be like, hey, let's see what the belly's,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And who knows what happens after that. So I'm only thinking about these things, and ultimately, the pudding, say what you want about masculinity and all these sort of situations, but the facts are, if they are not, there's no masculine, there is no there's no such thing as protection for society. I'll give it to you on that one.
Yeah. A clip I also saw was of a woman. What? Who, not Damon. One of the Wayans brothers was promoting his film um, on a outlet of some kind, and um, a question was asked directly to him to explain what a man is, or the question surrounded that topic, and he gave his answer, and someone and a woman cut him off, explaining, "No, this is what um, X, Y, and Z, and it blew up because he was just like, as a professional, he was like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do this right now. We're not gonna do this. And it sparked debate as always, these things do. But the outcome from it was that even though she said what she said, he practiced it in that moment simply by trying to calm the situation and clearly point out that the question was for him because of his gender and his own experience. It's not like he was asked, "Oh, what's it like being feminine?" Like, yo, um, but it was just so interesting because it's just like these are the instances where um, it's going out of hand, and people are bringing their past into um, what they think someone should be, and it's like, no, that was never the case. um but I get, something bad happens to me with a woman, all of a sudden all women are like, come on man, like, let's grow up. Do you know what I mean? Learn about the structure of what it is to represent yourself as a man or woman, and do your best to mold yourself in accordance with those values that make you feel heard, seen, and to do what's necessary for this experience that you're having. Because when I see it in different circumstances, in real life, at work, or wherever, and I'm just like, who are you trying to win over? I know who, but brother, like, where is your backbone, or where's your self-respect when someone is asking you about your own opinion and you say, you know what, no thanks. Um, I rather speak on people whose experience I'm not having to make myself look like the better individual. It's like, okay, no, I don't get people who do that. I get it, but it's never gonna gel with me because it's just like you're trying to fish on to whoever or whatever narrative is popular at that current time, forgetting you in the mix. But last time I checked, the law will hold you accordingly by the gender that you are. So, like,
Yeah, that's a whole fact. You know, it's funny to that. I have another another anecdotal situation, but not necessarily directly, but it can somewhat be in
mhm,
comparison because it's still more that minor situation that we're speaking about. I saw a clip of Mike Epps,
mm,
and he was basically speaking about Cat Williams
mm,
and alluding to the fact that, you know what, he can't necessarily talk the way Cat does or Dave Chappelle, or necessarily do things the way they do and be as outlandish as they are,
yeah,
because if I somewhat do things that like that and do things in that manner, I may not be able to make money. So I suppose, sometimes it comes down to that. It's the bigger picture and
mm,
whether um, the ROI is it makes sense. Do you get what I mean?
yeah. I think it goes back to
And
what.
as a man, not just saying as a man, I think men think about stuff like that as well.
Whew, talk about it.
You know, because if you're a critical thinker, if you're a man, by default you should be a thinker because and that's the reason why being a man is such a critical thing because your actions have repercussions and not just repercussions but it has rippling effects.
Mm,
And so it's not necessarily just do and forget because nobody's going to notice. No, everybody will notice. And not only that, but there most likely will be repercussions to follow because now other men most likely will want to make an example of you. It's a tricky thing because, you know, there are standards when it comes to men from men to men sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what I mean by that is just the way, or what we would class, what we would class like, you know, like man, a man's man, the way they see the world, perhaps, as
Yeah.
opposed to another man that, you know, not necessarily that he's not a man's man, but he's not vouched for to a degree
Mm-hmm.
within that time period or space or whatnot. So it's tricky, but at the same time, um, there are things indicating factors to kind of indicate or kind of surmise, you know, what this person is about, etc., etc. Um, I guess what I'm saying is not necessarily black and white, but I suppose the end result and the culture of that person is usually a good indication of, you know, what they stand for, what they're about, etc., etc. So I guess maybe what I'm saying is, you know what, anything a man has to be live by their convictions.
Yeah.
So if in that space that we're speaking about, this person, this individual that you're speaking about is living by convictions that he sort of kind of set out for himself, then yes, you have no choice but to respect it. But because at the end of the day, if he does something other than what he set out for himself to do, then he reacted that a man's not supposed to react like
Yeah.
a man responded, he doesn't react. And that's the ultimate thing. So it all depends. However, if he was supposed to um, speak outright and he folded at the last minute, then there's question marks about his integrity, question
For
marks
sure.
about who he is. And then you can kind of go back and look a deep dive into the reasons, the culture, what he came from, who he came with, and what got him here, how it got him here, all these type of situations. But ultimately, you all start with the habits,
Hmm.
and you go from there. You know, even the way, you know, as soon as somebody open their mouth, they tell you who they are.
Mm.
You
Boy.
know it. Um, then you pick their words apart, and then you see, you know, the verbiage speaks of a culture from which you came.
Mm.
And if it's refined, that means you've done work. So that's still
Yeah.
information that you're given. You know, so it's not black and
Absolutely
white, but
not.
nothing in life is. And that's why it pays to sort of kind of have done the work and live because you understand and you see. I mean, you really see.
Mm.
You know, and that matters. That's an advantage that men can't afford not to have. Got to see down the road. You've got to see. Unfortunately, you have to see around corners too.
Yeah.
because if you don't, it's to your detriment. But above all, I have to say this: a man is not born; a man is made.
Hmm.
You know, a man is made, and it takes a man to make a man. Ultimately, is what I'm saying. You know. So yeah, this was interesting.
Big spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to just share it. I just throw it out there straight and see your thoughts on. But I also want people to sort of kind of take a look at this thing, these thoughts that I've been cooking.
Yeah. So, will the world never be the same?
Yeah, man. Sorry,
Will the world never be the same?
man. But if you pay attention,
Hmm.
but if you pay attention, it hasn't been the same for a long time, man.
What is the same?
Whew. I could only answer it like this. You know, they have the term ignorance is bliss. Or lack of knowledge. Um, it's not freedom, but you don't know. If you don't know you're not free, then it doesn't matter, does it? Or should I say, if you don't know you're not free, or should I say, let me say it like this: if you're
Hmm.
not free and you don't know you're not free, never mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if you're asleep, let him sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a reason why you're still asleep.
Yeah.
You don't want to wake up. That's fine. That's fine. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was
Nah, I
talking to someone
say
about
not everyone's meant to, because I think if they did, they'd want to go back to sleep.
correct, correct.
That helped.
Yeah, man.
That
You know,
helped me
these
a
are
lot.
very huh?
That helped me a lot.
What's that?
Coming to terms with that. Not everyone's meant to wake up.
Whether you want to go back to sleep or not. Oh, okay.
No.
Hmm.
Yeah. Not everyone's meant to wake
Yeah,
up, because if they did, they'd want to go back.
correct. Some people might want to fight you for it.
Aye. Yeah. That's a real one that people don't speak on about. Um, but
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
it
So,
comes with that learning how to mind yourself, not to do that. Because
yeah.
yeah,
You know, it reminds me of somewhat of you know that situation where you always contemplating about telling my best friend about his cheating on his girlfriend. Next, you know, this guy come and punch you in the mouth for telling him that his girlfriend been cheating.
Yo, uh, but this scenario always I find hilarious because um people are so quick to say, "Oh, but you should," and I'm like, "Excuse me, like." Do you know the
Yeah,
level of people's temperaments and where they go to? That's why it's a common saying to mind your business.
correct.
Because an embarrassed
Very true.
person will will go very far,
Hmm.
very very far. But
Especially embarrassed men that are soft.
Ooh. Yeah, what did they
That's
say?
how people die.
Yeah, a jealous man is more dangerous than is very dangerous because yeah, they'll go to hell on earth. They'll bring it, man. And it's like wow, unfortunate,
Yeah, that's
but
how people get undead, man.
mm,
Can't be playing around with that, you know. So yeah, I would love to hear people's thoughts.
yeah, man,
But
chime
we
in.
just wanted to kind of throw it today and hear what you got to say. But yeah, just that's us for the night. Strings, anything before just we
Uh,
go?
mind your business.
That's a whole fact. I just say, Poetry Event is out. Poetry Event 1 and 2.
Yes,
We
sir.
got Ramblings of a Madman last year and Chaotic Ramblings out right now. Go get yourself a copy. It's my poetry book on Amazon.
Go
Mad
grab that.
Poet. Yep. And we'll be back. Right back. Until then, take care. And we'll see you soon.
Blessings,
Till
everyone.
next time.